So what's going on? Okay, yes, we're recording. Okay, so what's going on? All of my authors, my speakers, my coaches, and my network marketers, Taria Vision Avant here, darling. I hope you're having a wonderful day. On this training, I want to talk to you guys about book publishing. A lot of people come to me asking me questions about publishing, okay? One of the number one questions outside of marketing that many of my future authors have is they want to know about getting their book published. Should they self-publish? Should they go to a publisher? All that good stuff, okay? So what I'm going to do for y'all is I'm going to bless you with a little bit of tea, okay? I'm going to talk to you guys about 3 pros to going to a book publisher, and then as well as some cons, because I think you need to know that as well and figure out what your next step is. Also, stay until the end, because I'm going to hook you guys up with free days to my incredible monthly membership program where we teach you all about promoting, we teach you about profiting, we teach you about all that good stuff when it comes to getting your books to perform. So make sure you plug in towards the end. I'll talk to you guys about that. But other than that, let's get this party started, okay? All right, so like I told you, we're going to talk about publishing, and publishing is this. Let me just kind of make it real simple, all right? This is where the company or you actually take your manuscript and you put it into the form that it needs to be in so that it can be printed and marketed and all of that good stuff, okay? But let's go ahead and get into further details. Now, again, like I told you, a lot of people come to me and, I even have people that come to me and they say, hey, can you help me publish my book? Now, I have written over 16 books, and I've helped more than 5,000 plus speakers, coaches, and network marketers to self-publish books. Notice what I said, self-published. See, I believe in self-publishing this day and age, just like many people believe in, being independent artists and things like that. Well, some do see the benefit of being signed to a major label. The same can kind of go for authors as well. All right. Now, the 3 reasons why you should go to a publisher. The first, which is typically the number one reason that most people go to a publishing company, is because they have maybe written up their manuscript in a journal. All my old school folks, what you doing? How you doing? Right? Or you typed it up on a computer and you now want to send it to a company that can send it back to you ready to go, right? Essentially like on Amazon or Lulu or any of these printing companies, you want it to be ready to go, okay? So that means that they will edit the book. That means that they will resize and format and add the chapters and the page numbers and, make it look professionally done, right? And then also they design the cover and all those different things. Now, a lot of times people get it confused. They think that the publishing company is also going to market your book for you. Now, think about it. Even if it's a reputable publishing company that has, great people on their, on their roster, if they have 10 people signed to them, how could they possibly promote 10 other people? In fact, I want you guys to think about it like this. First Lady Michelle Obama had the number 1 selling book of 2019, right? But who was the one on tour? She was. Who was the one promoting? Yes, she connected with some of her friends and her influencers to get the word out there. But most people, let's just be real, unless you're a book person, who published the book? Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know who published the book, right? Because it was not, we didn't buy the book because it was the publishing company. We bought the book because it was First Lady Michelle Obama. That's why you bought it, right? So essentially, even if she would have self-published, the book would have still been a top-selling book. Now, there's some other things that take place behind the scenes where somebody can put a little push into you. But, let's just be real. We bought it because it was her, right? So that's, when you go to a publishing company, maybe they're going to help put it together, construct it. Now, in many cases, they may write you a check. But many publishing companies are going to charge a fee for this, okay? And for it to be good work, we're not talking about a couple $100s, okay? A lot of times people think that a publishing company could just put a book together for a couple $100, guys. It's a lot of work that takes place. The editing, if you want a really good editor, and depending upon the type of editing that you need, based upon the kind of book that you produce, that could be thousands of dollars. See, sometimes we just, we want somebody to come and read the flow of the book and make sure that it's arranged right. That is not inexpensive. That does cost, okay? And so you want to make sure that when you are going to a publishing company, if you're doing a biography or a memoir or something like that, you need to have an editor who can edit not just the grammar and punctuation, but the flow of the book. Okay. Now, our company, we specifically work with speakers, coaches, and networkers who want to grow and expand their market. And so they're creating how-to books. It's a little different with how the flow is, it works with that type of book. But then you also, you go to this publishing company because they can reformat it so that it looks professional and all that good stuff. But we're talking about a fee. Now, if a company is dropping you a check, just know that that check can also come with a prize. Okay. We'll talk more about that down the line. The number 2 reason why you may go to a publishing company is because what I just alluded to, they're writing you a check. Okay. But let me tell you something. If a company is writing you a check for, let's say, $1 million, $2 million, remember, these companies are in business. So if they put $2 million into you, you best believe they're expecting to get a lot back for that investment. Okay. We're not talking about a double return. We talk about quadruple, 6, 7, 8, 10 times of a return is what these companies are expecting. If somebody writes you a $2 million check, they're not expecting to get only $4 million back. Trust and believe. Okay. So you got to keep that in mind. They're writing you that money because they know that you've got the star power. They know that you've got the influence to get those sales in. Now, whether or not you want help with that, that's why you would have a publishing company. Okay. Third reason why you would go to a publishing company is because you want to be listed or you want your book to be on the shelves of certain stores. Okay. Now, this is the deal. Even if your book is in the airport, guess who still is responsible for marketing it? Okay. You are. You have to still have the word out. People need to know. Now, unless you create a book that is designed to give results and sell, 9 times out of 10, if people don't know who you are, they're probably not going to buy your book. Okay. And so you got to remember that, the reason why somebody's going to buy a book, especially in the how-to space, is because it makes a promise. And most of the books that you do see in bookstores, like in the airport or certain specific areas, are generally always how-to instruction-based books. There are a few that are biographies, but again, these are what we call A-list celebrities. Like their name holds weight. All you got to do is say their name. Somebody's going to buy it just because of who it is that they are, right? And so you want to be in stores. Now, I'm going to tell you this, guys. I've never written a book since day one, since the first time I wrote my very first book. And this is going to sound crazy. I never wrote a book to sell it. I wrote a book to sell. Okay. Never wrote a book to sell it. I wrote a book to sell. Now, I know this sounds confusing. Okay. I wrote my book because at the time I was a 6-figure earner in network marketing, and I sat down with a lawyer who didn't respect me as a 6-figure earner. Okay. He looked at what I was doing as not real business. So I wrote this book. And when I wrote the book, it started opening up opportunities for me to be positioned in front of extreme professionals. Whether or not they ever decided to be in my network marketing business, my network expanded dramatically. Okay. So I never wrote the book necessarily to sell it. I wrote a book to sell. And to sell who? Me. This is one of the best business cards, darling, you could ever have. You meet somebody who getting money out here in these streets, right? All you got to do is drop them a copy of your book. Let them know you official out here in these streets, okay? Now, 3 cons to going with a publishing company, okay? And let me just put a disclaimer. A lot of people think that that's what we do. We're a publishing company. Do we help you to publish your book? Yes. Do we have a team in place that can help you edit and format? Yes, we have all of that. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to help you to create a successful tool to build your public speaking, your coaching, or your network marketing business. Okay, that's what we do specifically. But we got to make sure that your book ain't janky. Okay, you can't come over here with a book that looked like Cousin Pookie and Ray Ray did it and think that it's going to work. So yes, we have to make sure that we can help you to essentially get the right book done. Okay, but the 3 cons, all right, to go into a publishing company, depending upon the contracts that you sign. If you go to like a big name publishing company, you do lose a lot of your creative control. I actually met someone the other day that got signed by a publishing company, and they were telling me how, number one, they sent them the manuscript 2 years ago. And during this process of 2 years, y'all, they have gone through name changes that they didn't want. They done took out several chapters of their book. They're just so disappointed because if they feel like their story is not being told the way that they wanted to tell it. And for some companies, the reason why they're going to do it that way is because they don't necessarily care about your story. They care about this book selling. okay? And so when you go to a publishing company, you could possibly lose your creative control. Another two is also you're not in control of when that book is launched, okay? Told you that I had a client that came to me. They had to, of course, write a totally new book. But see, they wrote a book in a format that we don't necessarily teach in, but they wanted to write an instruction-based how-to book, right? But they are also in a position where they are waiting for when the publishing company says, this is when we're going to launch your book. Okay. This is when the book is going to go out. Now, that's not all publishing companies, but in some situations. Okay. Number three is that when you go to a publishing company, they can also get your money. Okay. Now this is another thing. And let me tell you something. For those of you who've ever decided you want to start a publishing company, if you make this your focus and you really put yourself out there, it can be extremely lucrative. Okay. Because some publishing companies will sign deals where you get a very, very small percentage. I met this guy who had this incredible book, and he was telling me how he makes about $4 to $5 from every book that he sells. And now it's a hardback book that sells for a little bit more, so the profit should be more. $4 to $5. Many of my authors are making anywhere between $10 to $15 for every book that they sell. And so that is a big difference. When you're talking about selling hundreds to thousands of books, that's a lot of money that that company is getting. And they're essentially doing exactly what you could do. Okay. Or what you're doing, because you're the one marketing it. You're the one promoting it. If you want to get on the news and things like that, you hire a publicist, or you hire a book, what's the word? Not a book publisher, but you know what I mean? A book manager, right? Somebody that can get you in front of the right people, and you pay a percentage based on the bookings and not a percentage based on your book sales. Now, this is the deal. Remember, I did not ever write a book to sell it. I wrote a book to sell. So with that stated, I've also leveraged my book to build multiple streams. Now, that's a whole nother training in its own, darling. But hopefully this has helped you out. Now, I know several great book publishing companies out there that you can use. There are several, right? Depending upon the style of book that you write. We also do specifically how-to instructional based books that you want to use to leverage and build your speaking, coaching, and or network marketing business. Hold on, y'all. Somebody calling my phone. Let's go ahead and decline that. Okay, good. All right. But with that stated, y'all, hopefully you learned a little bit. And if you're interested in learning more about our Book Profits Club, now this is specifically for the person who has already completed the book and you want to know 3 of our 5 P's to book writing success. Now, the 3 are how to promote your book multiple ways, how to also profit multiple ways from your book, and how to get your book to perform, okay? You can actually join the Book Profits Club today for 3 days for free. And what I'm telling you guys is, if you're watching this and this is July 2020, y'all need to hurry up and get up on it, because in the next month, we're talking about August, the investment to be a part of Book Profits Club will go up, okay? But there's so much that is a part of Book Profits Club: monthly trainings, quarterly experts, gifts, all types of stuff, t-shirts you're gonna get. Y'all just pull up on me. Go to bookprofitsclub.com. But hopefully you learned something. If you did, please leave a comment. If you're watching this on anything where you can like it, share it, subscribe, turn on notifications, please do your girl a favor and make sure you hook me up with that, all right? All right. Well, let me go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Deuces.